If you could see this video, then there are a few reasons subconsciously you've been blocking love from coming into your life. And it has to do with understanding your programming. Understanding that you may be programmed subconsciously to block love. You may be programmed subconsciously to only allow in non-reciprocal relationships. You may be programmed to believe that you are not worthy of love. And in this video, I'm going to show you the 3 biggest blocks to attracting love that when you remove, completely shifts your life. These are things that have allowed me to allow in that deep love connection. These are things that have allowed me to open up, to literally be good either way, whether love comes in or not. It's going to energetically allow you to finally make the shift that allows you to feel worthy, whole, and complete inside of yourself so that love comes in your life as a natural reflection. Now, the first thing I'll say about this is that very often what happens when people are trying to attract love is it becomes a very serious project. It becomes this thing that you want to do, or this thing that you think needs to be fixed. And what happens is a bunch of resistance gets infused in the process. And then what happens is every date that you go on, you're thinking and putting this heavy, heavy pressure on the other person. Is this the person? Are they the one? This idea of the one. The one that's in your life right now may be showing you something about yourself, even if it's a situationship or something that's not actually panning out to be what you want. There's always something there to learn. But very often what I see happens is when people let go of attachment to outcome and they start having fun with the process, it's like the resistance loosens up. The resistance goes away. It's almost like then you're good at if it happens and you're good if it doesn't happen because you're having fun along the way. But often what happens is it becomes a very serious thing. It's almost this thing that you're trying to figure out and fix. I know for years it was like, I felt like the more I went into my childhood trauma, the more I was trying to fix whatever was there. It almost like there were times where I can see that it was almost like I was creating more of a burden there. I was creating more of like heaviness. Because what's also interesting is whatever you look for, you tend to find. So if you are like going into your childhood looking for more and more trauma, looking for more and more reasons that kind of also reflect back why you feel stuck, why you're single. See, that's why I didn't feel like I was enough because of this memory that surfaced. It's like we can continue in the present moment right now to create this heaviness that actually blocks it because we're constantly creating more and more of that resistance within us. Now, this doesn't mean being completely like aloof and like, I'm just going to think on positive things, but this means being aware of where you're putting your energy and whether that is also an excuse to feel more shame or like there's something wrong. So what I found for myself is that it was actually, everything happened, if I'm being completely frank and honest here, everything happened when I completely let go and I actually stopped looking. Now, it's not that I wasn't open to something happening, but I focused actually on more so like my own life. I focused more so like what I was actually focused on that was actually building me up. And as I focused on that, that's when opportunities came, but that's when also that love connection came into my awareness. Which is funny because you want to know, if you've been watching a few of my videos talking about this, it was a love connection that was there the whole entire time. I just literally couldn't perceive of it because of some form of attachment or some form of, probably some form of block there around vulnerability that didn't allow it to happen until the time that it did. But one of the first things of this 3 things I'm sharing is that attracting love becomes a major focus that creates a major resistance, and it creates a major pressure. Even as before I started making this video, I was feeling pressure to make this video because it's been a minute since I've made video. You know, I've been traveling. I'm in Ibiza right now. I was in Lisbon before that. Before that, I was in London. Before that, I was in Amsterdam. I've been traveling for like a month. And I'm like, dang, I need to make a video. So I sat down. I was like, I need to make a video. I got all serious about it. I was like, I'm going out later today to the gym. I'm going with my girlfriend to meet up with some other friends. And this serious thing I need to do, I need to make a video. Resistance. And then even right, if I'm being completely honest, right until the very beginning of this video, I was like, wait, let me just let go. Let me just get into a flow state and let go. And that's one of the things that I did that then allowed the pressure to go away to have more fun. And now, so many minutes into the video, it's way more fun. But I had to let go. And also I had to start. I had to actually just push the button. I think a lot of times what happens is we're waiting. Like people are waiting. Like I have videos that say, if you see this video, then love's right around the corner. And the message of that video is, it's right around the corner because you believe it's right around the corner. It's not here now. Love's not here. Love's not here. Love's not here. Therefore, you block love. Remember, it was like for 5 years, I had someone in my life where there was a potential for a deep relationship and connection to, and there was a deep relationship and connection, but only just as friends. And then what happened is that person was around the whole time. The energetic shift happened where there was a letting go and also a leaning into vulnerability, I'll say as well, that then allowed everything to shift. So that block was huge for me, letting go of outcome. And it was also, I think I subconsciously believed as well, that the more I would focus on my own purpose, running live events, like I wanted to focus first on becoming the most magnetic me, not magnetic to get love, the most passionate me. Running more live events, feeling more confident, I knew was a reflection of that kind of connection coming into my life. I felt that. And I think for a lot of us, it's like, if meeting the person takes away from us becoming the person that we actually came here to be because it's a distraction, it's not going to come in because it's like our focus is to be kind of like filling up our own cup and focus on realizing love is a reflection, not something you just attract. So you become it by being in your passion, by being in your purpose. So that's one thing that I had to do, is I had to let go of it being serious. Had to start having more fun with the process. Also, the second thing that I'll share, shifting out of old programmed patterns that were blocking me. Because a big part of the attraction process that a lot of people don't realize is they're like, why am I attracting this? Why am I attracting controlling people? Why am I attracting emotionally unavailable people? And the cold hard truth is, if you're attracting it, it's because there's some form of subconscious energy there that is the magnet that pulls it in. So for example, for years, I had a programming fixer mentality where I wanted to subconsciously fix people because that fixed program part of me would resonate with the victim program of someone else. If I could fix them, then I could receive love. That was the subconscious part of it. And if you imagine as a kid, their love was connected to what you could give and what you could fix because love was connected to doing, you might find yourself trying to give by fixing, and that actually blocks love. Think about this for a minute. This is an insight on camera right now that I'm like kind of formulating and understanding more, which is kind of cool. That's why I like getting into this flow state. You might believe, because we hear what you put out is what you get back. So subconsciously, the idea is I want to attract love. In order to attract love, I need to give it. But what we end up doing is giving by fixing. And if you are trying to fix, you are implying they are broken. You are implying they can't fix themselves, and you are also attracting that victim consciousness into your life. But you see, that's not love. That's codependency. Love is something that just is. Love isn't an exchange. But subconsciously, if you're putting out the fix-it mentality, if you're putting out, I need to give, you will attract people that take. Non-reciprocal relationships. So literally what's blocking love is that there is an attachment to codependency. There's an attachment to trying to fix. There might be an attachment to people pleasing. And that's what you're really in love with. You're in love with the pattern that's inside of you that attracts to you certain types of people. And you say, no, I don't want them, Aaron. Subconsciously, it's what you believe your code to love is. You believe the code is I must give, I must fix, I must please, etc. And that literally blocks love because it's only making room for codependency. So I had to stop people pleasing, which allowed me to be more my own masculine energy, by realizing I had to lean into tension, lean into expressing the real me, the vulnerability aspect, where there could be rejection, there could be tension, realizing that's not my thing to manage. It's not my thing to manage their tension, to get love. Letting people be with that energy instead of trying to fix. I had to let go of this, and it's hard sometimes when you're so used to fixing and helping. I just want to help. No, they have the power to figure it out themselves. You see, this changed everything. When I stopped playing out those energies, I then became much more magnetic and attractive. And I let go of people pleasing. I let go of trying to fix. I started to realize my own sense of self-worth from the inside out and stopped connecting my doingness to being worthy. I realized that I was worthy simply because I existed. Does that make sense? Very different energy there. So realize that what might be blocking love from coming into your life is you are attached to people pleasing, fixing, overgiving. You're attached to some pattern that's the bait that attracts in the other side of that pattern. So if you overgive, you attract overtakers. If you're trying to please people and you're a people pleaser, you'll attract people that are hard to please. Because the condition to love is if I can do this for you and give, then I can receive. But you see, that programming is blocking love. This is one thing I had to learn with coaching as well. For a long time, when I first went full-time on YouTube in 2017, the quickest way for me to do it when I started growing my audience was I just get a couple coaching clients. I remember trying to get coaching clients, and I did, and then I remember having to learn that this isn't about the advice I give. This isn't about me telling them what I see. This is about the questions I ask. This is about the curiosity I have and the presence and the energy that I have. And then not seeing them as broken. Seeing them as having the answers inside of themselves, and then the answer can reveal itself through the questions that I ask. It changed everything because I wasn't projecting onto them brokenness. Now, by the way, side note, if you are a coach or an aspiring coach that wants to gain confidence in a process you can use with your clients, I am starting something on November 3rd that is called the Conscious Coaches Accelerator. It's a 3-week process, a $2,000 course for free in exchange for feedback or a testimonial. If you want to apply, I'll go ahead and put the link below. You can apply. Includes live hot seat coaching, includes an exact process you can use with your clients. It's for both coaches and aspiring coaches that might feel called to this kind of work. But I'm going to be sharing everything I've learned through thousands of hours of coaching, live hot seat coaching on stage, everything, the questions you can ask, etc. Me and my friend Victor are doing this 3-week challenge. So if you want to join, I'll go and link that below. A little side note for you. But the way in which you go about working on your patterns and letting them go will reveal to you and allow you to allow in that space a new type of love that is much deeper. Realize that what we have, first off, right? Letting go of outcome, not making it so serious, letting go of the pattern that's attracting in codependency. And then thirdly, this is one's probably the biggest one of them all, and very important to understand in the process of attracting love. Really important to surrender to. It's to actually get rid of completely trying to manifest it. Now you're like, well, that sounds like the first one, just letting go. The challenge with attracting love is that you believe you, from your ego's perspective, need to attract the love into your life. So what do? You might go and do the affirmations. You might have read the book or watched the movie The Secret. You may be trying to do the affirmations and the rampages, all this manifestation stuff. What I actually recommend is that if you're trying to manifest love, it's coming from the ego that wants it. And what I'm suggesting is that that love does not come from the ego trying to get it into its life, because a lot of times that becomes a control mechanism. I'm going to manifest it. Say the number of affirmations. Look in the mirror. I am worthy, I am worthy, I am worthy. It's all subconscious, manipulative ways to get the universe to give you what you want. And what I would recommend is even more powerful, is to let God bring it to you. Let the divine bring it to you. To stop putting the energy in the ego doing it, and instead put it in God and trust in that. Because ultimately, that's what allowed love into my life, is just completely surrendering and letting go. Stop trying to look for it, even manifest it. And you'll hear so often from people that they attract love into their life, not when they're looking, doing all the things, when they at some level let go. Now, by the way, this doesn't mean don't put yourself out there. This doesn't mean not go out and meet people. What this means is stop trying to do it from this energy of I'm going to manifest it, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I don't talk about manifestation anymore on my channel for a reason. I'm not saying there's not a correlation between what you think and what you experience, but more so than that, I think that there's a correlation between what you believe and what you experience. And if you believe that your ego has to create love through controlling reality somehow, through some specific 555 manifestation method or whatever, then you are putting all the pressure on your back. But if you believe God will bring it to you, understanding that that's really how it works, God is flowing through everybody. And you might not understand in the moment how things are happening, but if you let go and you allow it to happen, that's where then magic can come into your life. So instead, realize that, become aware of your beliefs. This is something I do a lot, what do I believe to be true about myself? And what a lot of people do sometimes is they get so attached to their stories that they stay blocked. So you might be like, well, I believe I'm stuck. Well, I believe I'm not worthy of love. Well, I believe that all men are this way, or all women are this way. And guess what? If you believe that, what are you going to attract into your life? So become aware of what you believe to be true about other people. Become aware of what you believe to be true about yourself, and realize it's not about manifesting it. Just become aware of what you believe and begin to question those beliefs. And at times, I remember for years, I was attracting controlling women into my life because literally, subconsciously, I believed I had to fight for freedom against them, or I'd attract like managers that were hard to please. Interesting. Growing up, there was a woman in my life that was hard to please. So the people-pleasing mentality came out. But what ended up really switching everything for me is when I became aware of these beliefs and I decided to let them go. I decided that instead of being right about reality, I would allow God or the universe to flow through. So this is much more than just trying to manifest to get reality to give you what you want. Instead, it's much more about realizing this is a dance of energy. Now, some other rapid fire things I'll share with you that allowed me to attract love. One, vulnerability. Actually expressing how I felt, which is also the cure to like people pleasing, because you're afraid of rejection, right? There's like maybe an abandonment wound there. It's like you start to express the real you. Instead of getting everyone's approval, you will start to get more so respect. Not that you need it, but it's because you're respecting yourself. You're being real and authentic. You see, a lot of times what we do is we will block love and connection if what we believe love and connection is connected to approval. Because there's an attachment to approval, you're only attracting people a lot of times that don't give you that approval because you're trying to turn them. So much comes into your life when you let go of playing that game and instead you open up to the love that you naturally are. So allow God to flow through you. Allow this energy to come to you. Vulnerability was key for me. Trusting the timing was key for me. Realizing that the more fun I had in the process, the more magnetic and attractive my energy was. Realizing that I had to let go and transcend certain patterns by becoming aware of them and then just simply deciding this isn't who I am anymore. See, maybe I'll do a future video on like how you need to die to your old self to be reborn into the love, commitment to God and the universe that you are. The old self is the part that wants to be right, that also thinks that it's such a heavy process that you need to manifest from the ego's perspective. When you can allow something greater to flow through, and it allows things to happen so much easier. Now, something I also have, if you haven't checked it out already, is a meditation on attracting love. It's one of my most popular meditations. It's got almost 8-10 million views. Hundreds of comments of people that have said they've attracted love from doing that meditation for 21 days. It's basically mind and heart coherence. And it was interesting. I've seen people do this before where they do mind and heart coherence even at my like live events. And within a day, they come back the next day and they're like, people text them back, people reach out to them just simply because they're getting a mind and heart coherence. So if you want to do a meditation that you can commit to for 21 days for creating that mind and heart coherence, check out this video right here. Let's do it for 21 days. Read the comments to see what's possible and watch how much life changes.